welcome back to my channel. I appreciate you watching. And please spread the word. Tell your friends and your family to watch Sassy Southern Home here on YouTube. I am going to be taking and repurposing some of the items in my home today and turning them into something that looks very high end in lots of instances. And these were a lot of fun, and these are going to be things that I am personally going to be using in my house. So it's not just stuff that I'm making and putting to the side or giving away or whatever, but these are going to be items that I'm going to use, and I think you'll enjoy the imagination of some of these things, and hopefully you'll use some of these also in your home decor or as presents or whatever to people. I did have to go buy a few things that I didn't have on hand to use these items, but I'll explain that as we go along in the video. And you will be seeing some of these items coming up in a future spa-like retreat bathroom redo. We're going to be talking about what people consider to be spa-like, and we all like that spa feel when we go to a nice hotel. So you'll see some of these items reuse them. But anyhow, thumbs up, press that subscribe button, and please continue watching. Appreciate it. For our first project, I had this old candle holder that held like one of the larger pillar candles. And I didn't even take the sticker off the bottom because that's on the bottom. I'm just going to paint over it. It's really not going to matter. And then I had a jar candle from Yankee Candle, and I had the lid with it. So I just cleaned out the candle after I was through. I am going to use this Rust-Oleum paint. I really like this blue, but I'm going to paint the candle holder. I'm going to do the top and the bottom. I'm going to do 2 coats on the top. And I'm also going to paint that jar lid. Not the candle holder itself, the jar itself, but just the jar lid. And do 2 coats on each. And you can see our finished project. Now, the jar doesn't fit on there perfectly, but it does fit, and I think it looks nice together since it is that cohesive blue. And so that's our finished project there. And next project, we all have pickle jars, pasta jars. So I've taken a couple, cleaned the labels off. I just soak them in hot water, really good to get the labels off. And then if you got to use like Goof Off or Spick and Span or whatever cleaner you've got, and kind of scrub them off. And I found some different knobs. Now some of these knobs are left over from drawer cabinet pull projects, and one I actually went and bought from Hobby Lobby. But you're going to pick a drill bit the size of your bolt, your screw, whatever you want to call it, to your pull. And then and I left the jar lids on there. I put them on there. It just helped to steady it on the jar, and do as center as you can. You can actually measure it, but I didn't. I just eyeballed it. And put your hole in there. Then I used 2 coats of this Rust-Oleum black paint, and then you can see the knobs here. Now I did have to take these to my husband. You can actually go find some smaller bolts if needed, but he actually just grinded them down for me so that they would fit. So I'm just going to screw those on there. And how glamorous does this look? So really I only bought 1 knob for this project. Everything else is just recycled over the years. And then you have some pretty little jars to put whatever in it, bathroom, bedroom, what have you. And that's our finished project. And here I just styled them for you so you can see I used cotton balls in one, some bath scrubbers in another, and then some cotton swabs in one. Now this little puppy, my mama gave me this, I don't even know how many years ago. And he's cute, but I never really did like the gray. I just put him in my cabinet. He's got a little broken little tongue, you can see that. But I use chalk paint. Now the reason I'm using chalk paint is because it is this porcelain and it's very slick. So I'm going to use chalk paint because it's very forgiving. So I'm just going to brush this on, and I'm using a thick brush to make sure that I'm getting the paint pushed into all of the eye sockets, the mouth, the nose, but in all these little crevices that are on this little dog. Your first coat you want to put on really heavy just to push the paint on. Second coat, do a little bit lighter. And if you got to do a third coat or a touch-up coat, do it even lighter. Now, I would suggest when you're using this brush to put it on, to reduce the looks of your brush strokes, to go down. So I went down on all my brush strokes. And by the time you get your little third coat on there, it looks really good. What I'm spraying now is what they call clear glaze. It's like a protectant, but it also says it brings out the depth in projects. So, but I wanted something just to kind of protect it from getting scuffed or whatever. But here he is, and I like him a lot better. And he looks prettier. He actually stands out now in the cabinet where I put him, so. In this project, somebody had given us some cedar wood scraps. Now, they were, as you can see, and all the pieces were kind of like this. They had some live edge on it. They actually had some bark, and I pulled most of that off of there. And they weren't even. So, but I am going to use this as a bath caddy. I have one now that's just a piece of wood. It's a pretty piece of wood, but it's nothing like this. To me, this is lots of interest, and it's got just that natural beauty to it. I am using that clear glaze again. It says it's for wood, metal, porcelain, basically whatever kind of material. And you can see as I'm spraying it that it really brings out, it really does bring out the depth in this wood. The darker in there is just really coming out. Anyhow, when I got the piece of wood, I just took my husband's compressor air gun thing and sprayed it real good just to get all the debris off of it. And sprayed it with that clear glaze, and this is the finished project. It is so pretty, y'all. Now, we did take underneath and put 2 little boards just so it wouldn't slide off of my tub, so they kind of fit on the inside of the tub. But this is the finished project, and this looks so much prettier than just a plain board I could go anywhere and buy. And this project's simple. This is just a little votive cup. I liked it because it was frosted, but I have lots of clear too. And this little candlestick holder I actually just bought the other day from Hobby Lobby, and it was half off. So I'm just going to finish scraping off the bottom of this votive cup. And I found that my art scraper works really good for that. So I'm going to use a combination of E6000 and hot glue. Hot glue will make it hold immediately, and the E6000 will hold it a permanent fix. So I'm just going to place it on there, kind of find my center, eyeball that, place it on there. I held it down for a good little bit, and then I put a little tea light in it to light it, and that's your final project. That one was very simple. This project, my husband had this, and I'm not sure where he even found this, but it has this nice texture to it. And it was just a big jar. So I have taken this sea glass. Now, my local Hobby Lobby had it. Lowe's didn't have any of this, but Hobby Lobby had it, and they only had a green or blue. And I really like this aqua, I think is what they called it. So I am going to do 2 coats on this because I really want more of the, I don't want it transparent. I want it a little bit more opaque. So I'm going to do 2 coats on this. And that's simple. And I'm not doing the inside, I'm doing the outside. And I did spray around the top to cover the rim real good, but I'm not going to do the inside of it. And this is our finished project. And I'm not sure if I'm going to leave it like this, but I didn't have any real large plant stems to put in it. So I had bought this plant from Hobby Lobby, half off, and I just stuck that in it. And I think it looks nice like that. I might go back and just leave it and put some moss on it, but that's our finished project. I'm going to use the sea glass crawl-on paint again, and my husband bought this home. He had it, I think this, he said it was his mom's, I believe he said it was. But anyhow, this was a neat little pedestal. I don't even know what it was for, decorative purposes, I'm sure. And I am only going to do one coat on this, and just a real light coat, because I want it to have more of the transparent look to it. But it makes such a difference. And he really liked it too. He didn't know I was going to paint it, but I did. So our finished project, that is so pretty, y'all. That looks like something really, really expensive to me. And then styled, I just had these, I don't know what you call these. They were in style a long time ago. I don't even know if people still have them, but anyhow, these little wood or whatever they were, balls, decorative balls.